Hello Dinesh,
Hello,
good morning.
good morning.
All the best for having a Honda CBR 650R.
Thank you,
Welcome to you, Royal Raida.
thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Dinesh. I'm from Bangalore, studying in Bangalore, and I'm proud owner of CBR 650R and a part of Royal Raida Group. And I would like to say why I decided to buy the 2025 CBR 650R E-Clutch, as purely because it's Honda, reliable, proper servicing, and definitely the engine, because it's one of the very few 650 cc's with the inline 4. And of course I got it from Bangalore, Lavel Road. I bought this bike from Lavel Road Honda, and the cost of the bike was 13 lakhs, which was pre GST 4.0. And I'm assuming the new cost for this bike will be around 1 lakh plus, which will be close to 14 lakh. Waiting period for this was for me actually more than what they told me, which was 6 months plus. And I had booked this bike on April 10th, which was before the official release of the E-Clutch. And the official release of the E-Clutch was 1 month after that. So my waiting period was very long compared to what they told me, which was 3 months. And the colors which are available for these are only two colors in India, which are red color, which is this one, and the black color, which I don't have, but black color is the other one. I have driven this bike for around 700 kilometers, half in Bangalore roads, in the terrible roads, and National Highway 2. And my experience in Bangalore roads were okay. I would say power wise, extremely good. But when it comes to heating, there is definitely a lot of heating, but that is something which you can expect in a super bike. And when it comes to national highways, I would say it's an absolute machine, because on national highways, I have no tension on cruising around 140, 150 kilometers, and the pull it has up to 200, 220 kilometers is absolutely amazing. I would definitely try going more if there's a bigger road, but cities is definitely something which you should be worried about. It's not definitely not a local bike. Very good long drive bike for sure. Now I'll let you know about the engine. So basically, this engine is a inline 4 from Honda, which is a 650 cc, producing 94 horsepower on the crank and 64 newton meters of torque, and which is also somehow E20 compliant. And the clutch is also very similar to a dual clutch transmission, which is now called a Honda E-Clutch. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the seat height, which is 810 mm, which is perfectly fine for someone who is 5'8", and I can flat foot on both my foot. Even for 5'7", who my dad is, he can flat foot on both the seat. And the seats are very cushiony. Even the back seats are fine, but definitely not a two-seater bike. Only a single person is the most comfortable choice. And when it comes to ground clearance, it is 130 mm, and then the ground clearance is shockingly good, as me who has not touched any speed breakers or potholes in the Bangalore potholes and traffic. And if the tire pressures are absolutely fine, I don't think you'll have any trouble commuting on the speed breakers or anything. Compared to my old bike, which is around 140 ground clearance shockingly this has not touched anything, even though the ground clearance is a lot lesser than the previous bike. I'm gonna talk about the E-Clutch, Honda E-Clutch especially, which is an absolute game changer when you're driving in traffic, because this bike turns into a super bike, which turns into a scooty. So you don't have to use your clutch. I completely forgot my clutch for the total 800 kilometers of my journey. In city, this is an absolute legend. Completely comfortable, no stalls, and you don't have to worry about clutch, no hand pain, nothing. And in highways, it's again a dual clutch transmission, so it basically turns into something which is very similar to the African twins. So you can upshift on any RPMs, and you can upshift even on ideals, and you can also downshift, which is an absolute amazing experience when it comes to traffic and even in highways. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the suspension of the bike first, which is a good suspension. It's a bit stiff, and of course this is adjustable into 5 levels. So the suspensions are very good, as I haven't touched anywhere, and I've gone fast over speed breakers too. So I haven't had any disturbance when it comes to the suspensions. And when it comes to fresh suspension, it's a bit more softer and it's a bit more city friendly. So the fresh suspensions are a little more neutral about the traffic and the thing. It's not like a ZX6R where the suspensions are a bit more stiff. And when it comes to brakes, brakes are definitely good. And it's something which gives you a lot more confidence when you're going on high speed, because I can go at 160, 170, and I can confidently brake in like a solid amount where I'm more confident about the brakes. And when it comes to back brakes are a bit not the clickiest. So I mean, when it comes to superbikes, nobody uses a back brake that much. So you'll have to rely on the engine braking mostly, and the engine braking is extremely strong. So when you let go of the throttle, you can feel the vehicle pull like someone's pulling from the back of the vehicle. And when it comes to tires are, I would say, good. I wouldn't say they're exceptional, because most of the people who own a CBR 650R, they always recommended me to go to a Pirelli or a Michelin tires. These are the Dunlop tires, which is 180 section in the back and I think 130 in the front. These tires are good. In rain also they feel good. I feel it very good because I'm coming from a 300cc. But there's definitely better tires for these when it comes to people who told me who has this bike. And the brakes again are very good. Front are two discs and back is single disc. Both are four piston brakes, and back is a two piston single disc. Coming to the exhaust is very nice when it comes to stock. You would definitely not need an full system exhaust, and it's pretty loud for a stock exhaust as it's an inline 4.2, and the exhaust note is very smooth and it's very precise. You can definitely hear it coming from a mile away. Now I'm going to show you the exhaust note. I'll just turn on the bike and I'll show you how the exhaust sounds. This is how the exhaust sounds when the engine is warm and in idle RPM. For the exhaust, which I would definitely tell you should know before anything else, is exhaust is pretty loud. So when it comes to long drives, you will definitely enjoy the exhaust for 30 minutes to 1 hour definitely. But after that, because the exhaust is loud, you will end up getting slight irritation because the engine is always revving and you can hear the sound and all these things. But exhaust is obviously has a huge fan base, as a lot of kids who see you going by, they always want you to rev and all these things. But if you want to avoid that thing, you should definitely get a helmet with a very good cushion so that you can cancel out a bit of the exhaust noise. Okay, now coming to the windshield. Windshield is okay. It's of course not a great windshield, and the visibility through the windshield is also again okay. It's not the best, and the windshield height is also not the greatest. I would definitely consider removing this windshield and putting something way bigger. That is one main thing I've noticed about the windshield. Coming to the electronics, this thing comes with a TFT control with a light sensor. So it changes to dark mode and day mode. And when it comes to the electronics while driving, this comes with a traction control, but this does not come with any other driving modes. And traction control is variable Honda's traction control. So it does not have any traction control levels, but the system automatically adjusts the traction control according to the sensors. Coming to the TFT, TFT is good. Of course, I personally prefer analog, but coming to TFT for the first time, I like the TFT. It's a bit distractive as it's something new for me. This also comes with the Honda RoadSync app where you'll have navigation, music. One thing which I would give a pre-heads is over for iPhones, music is only supported by Apple Music and only if you get the subscription. So you can't really change the music unless you get the Apple Music subscription, which is something which is absolutely stupid because it should be something you can control any audio. And other one is a volume rocker. This also gives you an option to talk about the weather forecast. It gives you update on the weather forecast and everything. Okay, now when it comes to handlebar and the riding position, the triangle for the riding position is not too aggressive as a track bike, but the handlebar is something which is more like a mix of a city plus a track bike. So it's not something which is very sporty where you'll have a back pain. You'll definitely have a back pain when it comes to the body position. Mirrors are okay. They're not great. They look very similar to a mirror from an Activa, but not the best mirrors. They're just okay. When it comes to the handlebar stability and the suspension and the wheel alignment, everything, there's no wobble when I was going around 200 or 220, and the handlebar feels very planted, and it also absorbs the bumps very well, so you can have a lot of confidence while driving it in the city and in the highways. Pillion rider is something which I would definitely not recommend. If you're going something very short, sure, but please don't go on anything higher speed with the pillion rider, because it's like the pillion rider is on a second floor and it's also that they don't have something to grab, so they end up grabbing you, and if they're gonna fall, they'll definitely be in a death situation, and they'll fall when they're pulling you also, so it's completely not recommended. But there's of course an option. The pillion seats are fine, but definitely not recommended. When it comes to petrol, in the manual it suggests E5 and E20, so E10 only. But I am currently using Shell V Power, which was also recommended by the Honda showroom guys, because they told E20 will work definitely fine with it. They haven't officially released it as E20, but most of the people in the CBR 650R community in Bangalore are using the E20 fuels, as XP100 is very hard to find all across India. When it comes to fuel again, please make sure you add unleaded fuel, because leaded fuel will definitely cause a bit more of knocking. And something with additives like anti-knocking and all these things would be very good for the engine. And when it comes to mileage, shockingly, I get 25 if I'm going cruise. I can obviously push it for more than 25, but shockingly, I'm getting 25 right now. And when I open the throttle, I'm getting around 20 to 19, which is very good for a engine, but something which you can expect from a Honda, of course. So for me, first service has not been done yet. So my first service is still pending, and I'm planning to give it on the 1,000 kilometer. And first service is on the 1,000 kilometer, and second service on the 5,000 kilometer, and then the next service is on the 10,000, and the interval of every 10,000 after that, or a 1 year waiting time. Coming to e-clutch, which is the biggest highlight and one of the main reasons why I took this bike over the Trident, over the Hornet and everything, is because of the convenience which this e-clutch gives you, which completely turns this bike with a clutch and a gear into a scooty, where it's most similar to a dual clutch transmission, automatic dual clutch transmission, where of course you have to downshift into the gear without holding the clutch, but the whole journey from there on is completely without the clutch, and even downshifting from idle to neutral, everything is without the clutch. So it's of course a convenience. And one great thing about this e-clutch is gives you an option where you can change the hardness and the sensitivity of the upshifting and the downshifting. And main thing is this bike allows you to of course go completely manual, where you can hold the clutch and drive it like a normal bike also. The TFT allows you an option where you can choose the hardness and softness of the e-clutch. This is the option to turn off or on the e-clutch. This is for upshifting, where I want it to be harder or medium or softer. And for downshifting, I kept it hard because that's what's more comfortable for me. Again, thanks everyone for letting me talk about my bike and my experience so far. And thanks to Raida for giving me a platform where I can talk about the bike. And if you guys have any queries, please comment in my YouTube channel. I'll definitely give a response to it. Signing off, Raida.